Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Bakke, I want to come back to you in your brief. Thank you very much, by the way, for all the briefs that were submitted by the witnesses that are appearing today. They were very helpful. In your brief, you talked about the Kenyan choke point and the issues that are facing people after they have fled. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that for us, please?
Are you interested in knowing what the issues are after people flee?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there are many. One is when people flee. Hopefully, they're going to a place where there is safety for them. Of course, when you're fleeing a country in East Africa, there's no nearby safe country to flee to, so you're going to go into a homophobic country. And Kenya was, at one point, the only country accepting queer refugees. And they still do, strangely, but they're not processing them. So that's a huge issue. They're creating a choke point, so they're collecting people over many years, and it's hundreds and hundreds of people, and they're not being allowed to leave. And then that's one of the issues, but it becomes more compounded because of the extreme violence that queer refugees in Kenya and in South Sudan now face. So people are, and I think people here have talked about that. You know, everything from people being killed to daily assaults, physical assaults, verbal assaults, lack of treatment, being pushed to the back of the line, found excuses for not providing health services. The reality is that the UNHCR is not supposed to provide, it's not supposed to discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. The reality is that people can't help but express often what they've grown up with, their bread and butter, and the people in those countries are often coming from homophobic backgrounds, unfortunately.
And can you help contextualize that in comparison to a Canadian context? Like, we worry about discrimination in Canada. We talk about discrimination in Canada. We talk about hate in Canada. But can you talk about the difference in terms of orders of magnitude of what is being faced in South Sudan and in Kenya, and by the people that are the kind of discrimination and circumstances that people are facing in Uganda?
Some of the people that we have helped or are helping have experienced severe trauma. I don't know how to describe the trauma. I think someone like Mehdi might be able to do a better job.
If you wouldn't mind, and the reason I'm asking, and I'm sorry to put you through the pain of describing it, but sometimes we need to understand just how bad it is, to understand how different it is than what we think of discrimination as being here in Canada. I can't testify here, but as someone who's provided services to members of your community, there are some things that you've shared with me that I think that people would benefit from understanding. So, Mehdi, if Mr. Sentango, if you can bear it.
I remember back in the days when I just moved out here, Mr. Host was asking if I'm facing like trauma challenges. But to be honest, it really happens. It really happens because getting through violence, physical assault, and all that, you can't just get rid of your head right away because you're in a safe country. You still face it. Not every black people we have here in Canada, they all flee from like being violated from homosexual. We have other Africans who are here to study. You still associate with them because you're all Africans. But you're not welcomed as you should. So the trauma stays permanently. But it's just something you learn to live with it. Because I remember I was from work, and then I called host. I'm like, I've been crying. He's like, what's happening? I'm like, people just see you smiling, but they don't know what you're going through. You go to work, do the work, and then you get back home. But the pain stays. We got friends there. They're still living the same situation we went through. They call you for support, emotional support, financially, but you also still want to, make life better. So when he tells you such a story that he was assaulted, he was beaten, his knees was dislocated, you imagine what exactly you went through. So you're fighting to get rid of the memories, but you still have to give the support to those ones who are still there. And those who are still there, they are not being supported enough through mental health. So they only rely on us, but we're also trying to get rid of that. So it's really strategic to say that it's something can just get rid of you. It stays. I still face it, to be honest. I still face it. But you can imagine.
Thank you.
Thank you. And sorry to put you through that.